What's going on YouTube? Angel here. We have another reaction video for us to kind of get better at trading. Simple as that. So this post, Handling Huge Losses by Joe Daddy. Hello Redditors, I am a day trader and I've been learning the markets by taking trades here and there. Ooh, that's not a strong first statement since COVID. But I made the leap to start day trading 4 months ago. I started with a $13,000 account, and since then have made $61,000 in profit. Pretty good, with enormous risk though. My win rate is 68%, and average gain per trade is about 1K. I took a $18,000 hit on Friday, which is the largest hit I've ever taken. I oversized on this trade and got squeezed. With the amount of risk it takes to grow the account, equally as likely to fall if it were to go sour and you just happen to fall on that side of the trade. When did you say you took the trade? On Friday, so nothing much to that. Any advice on handling a loss like this and moving forward with a good mindset? My confidence has definitely took a hit hard, imposter syndrome kicking in too. Well, without reading kind of the comments so far, you can already see that based on your strategy that you take on an enormous risk, so much so that you become emotional with the loss. That just means you're sizing too aggressively. But depending on your goals and your risk tolerance, it might be the move for your strategy. From what you're typing, it sounds like you want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to risk as much as you want and make as much as you want, but you want the losses to be small. No such thing. This comes back to the trading plan, which I think you do have, but I think this one trade got around you because you weren't willing to take the stop loss. In all the previous experiences you had, you were able to kind of recover and even make a little bit of money. So I think for this, you just have to chalk it up and just stick to your game plan. Make sure that your entries are sharp. You're making about one trade per loss, but how much are you losing? What's your risk reward ratio? 1.5R, 2R, 4R, 6R. From what it looks like, this sounds around between, it could be anywhere between 1.5R, 2R, 3R. But at least you were able to take the loss. I think once the hurt becomes too much, you would take the hit, and like the markets love to do, right after you click the button to take the stop loss, to stop the bleeding, it turns right back around, hits break even, and even makes you money before you take profit. Always does that, and it will continue to do that unless you have a emotionless trading plan. So, how do you handle a loss like this? Forget about it. Know why it happened first of all, but it's already happened. Now you got to move forward, but it kind of highlights the fact that your trading plan is still not solid enough and you're still sort of in that gambling mentality. So for you either sharpen up your game plan one, sharpen up your strategies in terms of entry, and then third, you can think about finally why. Ask yourself why. Because right now your whole kind of 2 paragraphs is about talking about your P&L. But where's the process? You just started 4 months ago. Where's the process? I know you over leveraged and kind of had 500% profits. Congrats. But do you have the mental fortitude? Do you have the plan and strategy to keep it and stop the market from taking it away? Because you just lost 30-40% of it already. So those are kind of my initial thoughts. Let's see if the community also thinks similarly. You're risking too much. Exactly what I said. There's no way I would ever lose $18,000 on a $70,000 account in one trade or one day. You have to set rules. Yep. Stopping after X amount of trades or X amount of risk, or just making sure your size doesn't ever get to that point. Focus on taking base hits, not home runs. It's a marathon, not a sprint. He is trading. He is not trading. He's gambling. Exactly what I said. Great advice. I keep risk super low, maybe too low. If I grind $1,000 on a $100 account, I consider a good day. Yep, 1% risk. That's a classic strategy because the name of the game, Rule Zero. Shout out to live traders. Preserve capital. Best advice is here. Base hits instead of targeting home runs. Hit your singles. Hit your singles. Shout out to SMB Capital. They always talk about this too. I think Lance also talks about it. Shout out to him in terms of scaling your goals. So if you are an unprofitable trader, can you turn into a break-even trader? From a break-even trader, can you consistently scalp $10, $100, $500, $1,000? Then just keep on scaling your goals right there. Dan J. Dare says, first of all, congrats on the massive balls. It's impressive turning 13,000 to 74,000. I agree. 500% gains. Second of all, if you don't dial it back, you'll soon turn whatever you have now into $0. Yeah, yep. Advice on handling a loss like this: don't lose like this. It's stupid trading. Don't risk that much. It's poor risk management, while almost non-existent risk management. Learn from this and survive, or don't learn from this and go to zero. Yep, pretty much. If you're not going to learn from it, your market's going to just take all the profits back. It's not imposter syndrome, mate. You just made a stupid move. Flapjack198 says, bro, Friday was brutal for me as well. Small account, made 3 grand over with small trades over 2 months period. On Friday, I lost 800,000 on nearly a 30-year account. Oversized, revenge, B-minus sub, you name it. I guess it's time to trade, analyze out of this loss. Learn when the stakes are high. Don't lose again. Good luck. Yeah. So your mistake's not uncommon, Joe Daddy, but it is something you should definitely take very seriously, because this is just a small one of the many problems you might have and one of the many pitfalls that you can encounter while trading. Lumpy Pomelo 7203 says, sounds like you know what you're doing wrong, oversized, so go back to your strategy that's been working with appropriately sized trades. Obviously easier said than done. Maybe take a couple of days off to recalibrate. Chill as well. Yep. I never touched on this topic, but definitely taking some time off to blank out the mind, because you have a lot of mental gymnastics going on. But this way, you should have, could have, would have. Take a break. Don't think about the markets at all. It's always going to be there when you come back. The Optimus Bob said, I almost blown my account up. It's hard not to break your own rules. You start chasing losses, adding to hope for a reversal, and it almost never comes. Even when you watch your trade come back down with substantial losses or even break even small profit, you start to think you were right and you hold on longer than you should, thinking about the giant bag at the end of the rainbow. Then the trade reverses back and you're kicking yourself again. It's an easy spiral to fall into. So this is where, let's say you have, it fits your entries perfectly, and in the losing percentage of the time, it reverses in the opposite direction and hits your stop loss. If you break your rules, you might wanna, you thought that this was a trade that was one of your A+ setups that just happened to fail, and you were holding it and just kept going into a deeper red. He's describing that, and then let's say it does reverse, so it's training you to make worse decisions over time. No, you just cut the losses. Even though they sting, they hurt, you need to analyze. You need to have a good game plan. Discipline is everything. Losses will happen. Big losses will happen. I sized down to reset my mind to be okay with smaller profits. Yep, in a smaller account, I had to be okay with making $10 a day until I stopped making mistakes. Yep. Those $10 days turn into 20, then 30, then 40, 50, and so on. Add back up until you feel comfortable again. My account is a good size, so you will see larger numbers that can mess with your greed level in your mind. Size down, make good decisions on small wins. You can build it back up. Don't give up, but don't continue to make the same mistakes. Well said, the Optimus Bob. TARS206 says, structure your trades, follow a game plan. Big losses should not happen even as a losing trader. Perfect. Yep, I believe, was it the market makers? There's another tip where you can have big wins, small losses, but you can never have big losses. And it talks about avoiding the biggest losers, just survival. And another way to put it. Tor Drop says the advice is starting to put 50% of all future gains in a total market mutual fund. That's a good joke, but it's accurate because if you're gonna lose the money, let it do it passively and help you be a long-term investor instead. Peter in Japan says, I've been investing seriously for 10 years, but only recently learned the joy of settling a stop loss in every trade. The day after I make it, I don't have to worry about 10 to 20% drawdowns on position anymore. I use the Ichimoku indicator, which taught me about the blue cloud trading on YouTube. The guy is legit. Gives you 2 videos there going over all the stocks and ETFs you should know of. So you have a lot of input on what should be in or out of position. I've never been so chill about investing life since learning about this system. I think one of the very first indicators I ever learned was the Ichimoku. Right now I am analyzing the orb strategies. If you take a look at the channel, tons of videos analyzing the orb strategies on stocks Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. So definitely take a look at the strategy if it's right for you and if you should add it to your arsenal. So far, we have a pretty good back testing regimen going on. Definitely recommend you guys take a look at it. Uxium the nocturnal options shares futures. Knowing what you're trading might help us give you tailored advice. Tim Mahan says the mindset part is super important to feel like you're making progress, which to me means having a goal and working towards it. When I have an outsized loss and amount becomes my goal for the foreseeable future, I trade less size as perfectly as possible until the account is mount, then I resume normal size. I never heard of that actually. That might be a way if you are kind of a short-term goal breaker to break down goals into mini goals. It's pretty good actually. This keeps the money loss out of the mind, continues to trade positively 18 times, could easily recover in a few months, and maybe in the end of the year it'll be a distant memory. Sure thing. How could you average gain 1,000 but took a loss for 18,000? I guess you are long for most, if not all, your trades. Wrong door single 4832 says you're risking too much. Don't risk more than 2% of your account size per trade. You don't know what's going to happen next in the market. Your edge is only a higher probability for something to happen over another. Risking too much is like you are 100% sure that the trade is going to go your way. The key to staying consistently profitable trading is to let your probability play out, which can only be achieved through having an edge, making a large number of trades. Shout out to the market makers and practicing good risk management. Shout out to all the traders out there are preaching good habits. Candle Reject says, I've been through it. All you can do is look at the trade, see what you're doing wrong. If you can make adjustments, try not to make the mistake again. Reboom Atridontis says, on the authority of Paul Tor Jones, I will remind you, losers avenge losers, cut the starters in half and only add to the winners. Very good. Cutting the losers short and letting the winners ride. David Redditor says, hello Joe, I've been in this exact scenario many moons ago. Take a week off. Yep, fresh in the mind. Come back and trade the same risk parameters you were trading to build your account as you were previously. There's no need to go from 1 lot to 10 lots, even though you're hitting 90% trades. Zoom out, check the monthly candles, weekly, daily, then trade with conviction. This will definitely negatively affect your confidence, but you need some time out of the markets to recalibrate. Remember, you're not God. As much as your room weight says you are not him, bro. Best of luck in the future trades. Calm down with the size lots. And the Amazing Profession 900 says, before trading fees went away, I suggest paper trading for a bit, but since trading is ultimately free, like a blackjack, player, pull your bets way back until you regain your confidence. That .1 SPY contract probably won't break the bank anytime, but at least it'll keep you in the game. Sure, that's kind of what I've been doing recently. I regulated myself to paper trading until I developed a sound strategy to one, preserve my capital, be emotionless, and take high probability setups that can make me consistent income. Those are my first main three corollaries, three goals, three commandments, and we will go from there once that has been solidified. But that is it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below, how would you handle huge losses? So for me, I actually dealt with a huge loss, so I defaulted myself to paper trading and taking high risk setups, high probability setups with my remaining funds, so that we can kind of build up capital, rebuild some confidence, and most importantly, kind of find our edge. So let me know what you guys would do after getting huge losses. But down in the comments below. Talk to you guys in the next video.